Hi everyone, Nick Kratikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and today you're watching me in Bowdabra, and we have a whole slew of ribbons on my table right now, and what we're going to be doing tonight is creating lots of bows. So as you come in, Bowdabra is also giving away a free roll of ribbon tonight, so be sure to comment down below that you would like to win, and you just might be the lucky winner for tonight's live. So I'm going to start off with probably one of our final summer bows, and I just thought this was a great combo with the fuchsia and the lime green, as there's little flowers on this ribbon that have it. So we're going to be designing a bow using both of these real quick. So like I said, one of our final summer bows, and then after this we have some Halloween bows to create, and depending on how much time we have, we're also going to try to create a Christmas bow as well. So I'm going to start off with some Bowdabra wire. This comes as a 100-yard spool. And right now, Bowdabra is sold out, so check Hobby Lobby and Michael's to be able to find one and purchase one. So we're going to take our wire, and let me show you guys this up a little bit closer. We're going to take our wire, place it into our Bowdabra like this. Right in the middle, as you can see, there's a little gap that you can place your wire in. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take both of our ribbons and begin working them in. So I'm going to start off with this flower ribbon. This is a 1.5-inch wired ribbon that came from Jacobson Floral. And we're going to pinch and create a loop and snip it off. So as you come in, be sure to say hi. My dad is actually behind the camera today, so be sure to say hi to Dad as well. Barbara says, I'd love to win, always learn so much from you. Thank you, Barbara. Now what we'll do is we'll come back in with this ribbon, and it's all about layering. So like I said in the last video, what you can do is you can cut it beforehand, or you can cut it once it's in your Bowdabra. And to do that, all you have to do is place your ribbon inside. And I like to twist my Bowdabra as I work it in. And you can create a loop like that.
Edna Patrick says, I want to win.
Awesome, Edna. So if you guys don't mind giving this video a like and a share, I greatly appreciate it. It helps us grow and inspire as many people as possible. So now we'll come back in with more of our flower ribbon. And notice what I'm doing is I'm taking our ribbon, twisting it 180 degrees so that the back side is facing up, placing it into our Bowdabra.
Hello, everyone. Gloria Kinney wants to win.
Awesome. So you have the choice of a scrunchy ribbon, and the color selection, I believe, is red, gold, and silver. So again, just comment down below that you'd like to win, and you just might be the lucky winner. We'll add a few more of these because I want this bow to be nice and full.
Nancy Lyons wants to win. Everybody wants to win. That's the way it should be.
Okay, so we have 2 loops of the yellow and 2 loops of the pink. So we're going to do one more set of each just to create a fuller bow. Like that. Cut off our tails and place them into our Bowdabra. So we'll do the same thing with the pink ribbon.
Carol Greenwell says, I hope I win tonight from Kentucky.
You just might be our lucky winner. Now we've placed all of our ribbon, and the Bowdabra does come with a wand that you can secure into your Bowdabra. I personally like just taking my hands and compressing it like this. I think it's a little bit easier doing that, but of course you can use the wand, and the wand, I mean this is a pair of scissors, but the wand just slides into the little gap in between and just compresses all of your tails. So I'm going to take our wire now, pull one side to another, and pull really tight. Bring it to the other side and secure from behind. And I always like to do at least 1, 2, 3 knots to make sure our wire isn't going to slide off. And here we have our ugly bow. So it's ugly at this point, but what we're going to do now is we're going to give it a good fluff, but also real quick, to get a professional looking end to your ribbons, all you're going to do is take your tails, fold them in half, and cut from the middle out towards the edge. And what's that called, Dad?
Dovetail.
Dovetail. And it just creates a professional looking end. So I like to do that to all of my tails, and it just, you know, finishes your bow without making it look unfinished. It's definitely something you don't want to happen. So it is a little bit tedious, but trust me, you guys, it pays off in the end because all of your tails will be angled like this, and it'll just look finished. So we have a few left to do. I know it's a little bit tedious, but trust me, you won't go back once you do this. So we have a couple tails on this side to do. So it's also an easy trick just to take a couple of them and do it at the same time. Kill two birds with one stone. And here's our final few. Okay, so again, ugly bow. What we're going to do now is bring it to life by fluffing. Most important step. Pulling all your tails out. This is a wired ribbon. So by pulling your tails and straightening them out, it gets any of the creases out and really creates a beautiful bow.
And just like that, the bow's brought to life.
It is. See how quick that was? How's it look, you guys? Give some hearts if that's pretty. I like that. Something a little bit different, a little summery, kind of whimsical, and very bright and cheery. What do you think? I like that. I love the ribbon choices. Currently trying to learn the pancake style mesh wreath. Dovetail, exactly, Edna. I love your main t-shirt. Thank you. We got this at the Kittery Trading Post. We are only about, I'd say, what, 20 minutes that away from Kittery?
Maybe 25 minutes or half hour, yeah.
25 minutes. Not bad. With Alex driving, maybe 10.
Mm.
All right, so now we're going to use this. This is a Halloween ribbon. Isn't that a beautiful ribbon?
I like that one a lot.
Isn't that cool?
Very pretty.
I like that one too. And we'll take our other ribbon. Look at that one. Don't those look great together? Another option you could do is the ghost. Isn't that cool? They all have different little faces.
Ghosts are cute, yeah.
So let's do our first bow with these two. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a different bow. That was a funky bow that we just created. And now let's do something a little bit different. So to start off with, I'm going to cut our tails.
Janice Adams Ringler said, "Go, Alex."
All right, so we just play up. What did we forget? We forgot to add our wire. So let's add our wire. Cut a length of it off. And again, if you don't mind giving this video a thumbs up and a share, I appreciate it. You guys know these videos are all about inspiring and teaching people how to make bows. I know a lot of people struggle with bow making, and my biggest recommendation is to not put too much thought into it. And I know that can be difficult, as a lot of us are perfectionists, but you know, the less thought you put into your bow making and the more you focus on just fluffing afterwards, you'll have a beautiful bow. So don't stress too much. If it's not to your liking, you could always take it apart and redo it. Nothing's permanent. Okay, so we're gonna do, let's do 3 loops on either side.
Marsha Williams said, "What is the contraption you're using?"
This is a Bowdabra, and it's the large. They also have a mini Bowdabra for hair bows and smaller bows. But you guys know we do massive bows here. So we're using the large. And you can pick them up again at Michael's or Hobby Lobby currently, as they are sold out elsewhere. So that's our second loop. Now we'll do 3. So 3 on either side, a total of 6 using this ribbon. And one thing I sometimes forget, because I feel like I say it so much, is that I don't sit there and I don't measure out the loops. You can, of course, take them like this and stretch them out, see if they're even. I never really go through the hassle of doing that personally. It's not going to make a difference in the end, if we're going to be honest. It's really not going to do too much if you're exactly right, because these are wired ribbons, so you can manipulate them afterwards. Snip off our ribbon. Now what we'll do is we'll come back in with our black and white. So for this ribbon, I don't think I want to add any tails necessarily, so I'm going to do some smaller loops. We'll do 2 on each side that are only about 2 inches, give or take. Doesn't have to be exact, like I said before. My Hobby Lobby is sold out and can't get them. Nancy, try Michael's. Try your Michael's if you have one close by.
Becky Voss said she saw some at Joann's today.
Some at Joann's. Okay, so 2 loops on either side, and then what we're going to do is finish off our bow using a button loop. So I got a lot of questions asked about that, and essentially what it is a button covering up the middle. So for your button loop, I like to make them about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So as you can see, it's smaller, and that's exactly what we want. So I'll just snip off our little button loop right here. Compress our ribbons by adding pressure like I talked about before. take your wire, take one side of it, doesn't matter which side, bring it to the other side, and then at the end of your wire, since we folded it in half, you have a little slip knot that you can place inside. And at this point, the bow isn't tied off, so you do want to be a little bit careful. Give it a good pull from behind, take one of the wires, bring it to the other side to tie off your bow, and pull really, really tight. And then what we can do is we can take our wire and twist it secure. So it looks like we have almost 400 people watching. If you're just joining, thank you for watching. I am Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and Bowdabra is giving away a free roll of ribbon today. So just comment down below if you'd like to win, and you just might be the lucky winner.
Anne Reen Bagwandan said, good evening, watching from Guyana. Love all your creations.
Oh, thank you, Anne. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining. So I just pulled those loops apart. I'm just going to pull the tails down for now. Any ribbon that has an excessive amount of glitter, which you guys know I'm not the world's biggest fan of glitter, ribbons like this are a little bit thicker and a little bit more crinkly, if you will. So you might have to give them a slightly more tug than you would for kind of like a burlap ribbon or the ribbon that we have in the middle of this bow.
Carol Greenwell says, please make a bow with the ghost ribbon.
Okay, you got it. Let's do that next. I'll probably just use that ribbon. Okay, so again, what are we going to do to our tails?
Dovetail.
Dovetail. And what's that do, Dad?
Just makes it, gives it a nice finished off look.
Exactly.
More elegant.
More elegant, more professional for those of you that are gifting bows or even sell your bows and wreaths and swags and creations. Just creates a nicer bow if you're just starting out and haven't heard about it before. What do you think of that? My first time on here, checking in from Syracuse, New York. Welcome, Christine. Isn't that pretty? Let me see if I like it first.
Kimberly Clark said, I have both Bowdabras and love them.
Awesome. What do you guys think? Give some hearts if you love that one. Hi,
That's
Nick,
a
watching
pretty
from
color.
Las Vegas. Love watching your lives. Thank you, Jen. I would love to visit Las Vegas one day. I like that bow. It's probably my favorite so far out of the two.
That purple pops.
It does. So now what we're going to do is create a ghost bow using this ribbon. And we can decide on how we want to create this bow. We can do it traditionally, but I do want to have some tails cascading down below so that you see all those cute little ghosts. Aren't those cool?
Yep, they're adorable.
I like those. So we'll cut off. So this is another one of those ribbons, and I talked about this in the last Bowdabra tutorial we did last Monday. Notice what happens if we just cut one long piece. Do you see what happens? One side of the bow is going upwards and one side of it's going downwards. I don't like that look, and if I see a bow like that, it's definitely the very first thing I notice. So it's not my thing to do. So what I like to do is I just like to cut them off separately. There's probably another way you can do it. It just works for me, and it's very quick to do. So I don't stress too much. Now what we can do is we can cut a length of our Bowdabra wire. And always cut your Bowdabra wire a little bit longer than you anticipate. Same goes with your ribbon. You know that saying, measure twice, cut once? I mean, it's not really that in this case, but I always like to, give myself some room in case I want to change up the bow a little bit, whether making it longer or smaller. Then we can take our tails, make sure both of them are facing upwards. Place those into our Bowdabra. Notice what I just did here too. See how there's a little bit of an overhang? You want to do that with zip ties too. You never want to cut everything flush. Having a little bit of leverage like that in case the wire fails or if it's too loose, it just protects it and keeps everything in place. Now we can start creating some loops, and with the loops on this ribbon you're going to lose some of your ghosts, but I think with the tails looking the way they do, you'll still be able to get the effect that they're ghosts. So definitely make sure you have some long tails to really showcase the ghosts. And this is going to be a traditional bow.
Sandy Clark said, I learned so much from you.
Thank you, Sandy. What do you guys think? Are these bow tutorials helpful? I sure hope they are. Okay, so like I said, I manipulate my Bowdabra to my liking. For every tool in your shop, whether it's your scissors, your wire snips, you're always going to be using them a little bit different than everybody else. So if you have your Bowdabra, or if you're purchasing one after watching this video, I recommend playing around with it, getting a feel for it, accustom it to your hands, and your movements. So just because I rotate my Bowdabra doesn't mean you'll have to or you'd like to. You can very easily just move your hands instead of moving your Bowdabra.
Everybody says yes, Nick. The videos are very helpful.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So I don't know how many loops. We have 4 on this side. We have now 4 on this side. Like that.
Very helpful. Don't stop.
Let's just do one more for good measure. How's that sound? Let's do one more.
So 5 on each side?
Nope, just 4 on one
4?
side, 5 on the other. So one thing to focus on is the more loops you have, the more full your bow is going to be. So that's not necessarily the case for every design. I don't necessarily want a super full bow for everything. Sometimes I prefer a bow that's a little thinner with less loops, so I can tuck in some greenery and some flowers, and I really love the look of that. So I don't personally love a super full bow for every design. Take our wire, place it to one side. Would love to win. Awesome. So it looks like Joanne's does not carry Bowdabra. So again, your best bet is going to Michael's or to Hobby Lobby to purchase your Bowdabra. And I know there's probably 50 Michaels within a 100-mile radius of me. Hobby Lobby's not so much. We got 3, and I think they just opened one in, more south of us in Massachusetts. So we got 4 Hobby Lobbies, and like I said, hundreds of Michaels. Michaels are everywhere here.
Yes, it's Bowdabra wire.
Yep, Bowdabra wire. It's a 100-yard spool right there. Why 4 on one side and 5 on the other? So, Barbara, that's a great question, and I kind of feel like I just touched on that earlier, but I'll kind of go into depth a little bit more. It doesn't make a difference. You're not going to notice that you have 5 on one side and 4 on the other, as you can tell here. It's not going to make a huge difference. I just wanted to add 1 extra loop just to make it a little bit thicker and a little bit more full. But I didn't necessarily want to create 2 loops. So that's the reason for 5 on one side and 2 on the other.
Nancy Lyon says, where are you from?
We are from Raleigh, Well, I'm from Raleigh, Massachusetts. My dad's been everywhere and anywhere. He's lived all over in comparison to me. What do you think of that? Isn't that kind of pretty with the little, what are these called? Ghosts.
They're adorable.
So like I said, we constantly can fluff and adjust our loops. Biggest tip is to place it on whatever desired product you want to have it on, whether it's a swag, a lantern, a wreath, and then give it a good fluff. So always do your final fluffing once it's hanging up. So there's that bow.
Are you using wired ribbon, Nick?
This is wired ribbon. So I only use wired ribbon for my artificial designs. For my fresh floral designs, I do use a non-wired ribbon. But that's just because I like the way it cascades for, my fresh floral designs. Not the case with artificial. I always use wire. Place another piece of wire into our Bowdabra. So again, there's just a little slit on the top that you can place your wires in. And I like to just tuck them underneath to get them out of the way a little bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create, let's do a fun fall bow. So we have these ribbons, and I think I told this a while back, maybe a few tutorials on Bowdabra ago. But I added like 6 of these to my cart just because I liked it, and I have the tendency to, shop for a few days before placing my order. So I must have added, 2 each day over a course of 3 days. And then when my order came in, I had like 6 to 8 of these rolls. So I'm glad I do because I really like the ribbon. But I just thought that was kind of funny. So again, you can cut your ribbon before placing it into your Bowdabra and use your Bowdabra as a, kind of a third hand to hold all of your loops. Or you can do it within the Bowdabra. So for an example, here's one way you can do it. We can just, take your ribbon, cut it, place it into your Bowdabra. And I'm not going to worry about separating the tails at this point. We can do that afterwards. Or another option you can do is take your ribbon, place it into your Bowdabra, and then snip it off.
Everybody likes the ghost ribbon, Nick. They think it's cute.
I think it's cute too. I'm pretty sure I got that from Trendy Tree. So we'll just alternate between these two. And like I said, the more loops you have, the more full your bow is going to be. And we don't necessarily always want to have a super full bow. Sometimes it's better to have a less full bow. That way you can come back in with greenery and other various products to bring your bow to life and make it a little bit more incorporated. Here we have a piece of ribbon that has been patched together and not even sewn together. There's just a piece of tape keeping those together. So let's just cut that piece off and continue working in our orange ribbon. Wow, almost 450 people. Thank you guys for watching.
Make sure you all keep saying you want to win the ribbon.
Okay, let's do one more.
Do you have to twist the ribbon when you put it in the Bowdabra, Nick?
You know, you don't really have to, because you can. For this technique, you don't have to. For the traditional bow that we just created with the ghost, you most certainly do. But for this technique, you don't have to, because the tails are going to be on one side anyway, so you can just kind of twist those to your liking anyway. So I don't focus too much on that. But for a traditional bow, most certainly you will want to twist your ribbon backwards. So it's just 180 degrees. So now we have our wire. We're going to bring it to one side. Secure from behind. And tie it off. Like that. So I showed you guys how to dovetail in the last clip. So I'm not going to dovetail this one just to not keep you guys too long. We'll just create another bow so you don't have to sit there and watch me dovetail it. But I am going to dovetail this before we post pictures, because I do find it to be incredibly important in creating a professional looking bow. What do you think of that one? Isn't that a pretty color combination? And like I said, once you have it secured to your final product, like for example in a wreath, then you can give it a good fluff and position everything exactly where you want it. So, you know, you can fluff all day, but once you attach it to whatever you want to attach, you're going to have to fluff it again anyway. So don't be too concerned if it's not looking exactly the way you want it at this point. But now let's create a simple Christmas bow. And I figured we'd work in some of this. What do you think? Give some hearts if we should use some 4-inch ribbon.
Kathy Dugan says, hi, Nick from Salem. Boo.
Hi, Kathy. Kathy's really close to us being in Salem. We're only a couple towns away. And the funny thing is my dad actually lived in Beverly for a long time. And you owned the Beverly House of Pizza, right, Dad?
Yeah, the original one, yeah.
The
Back in the
original Beverly
70s.
House. In the 70s?
In the 70s.
Oh my gosh, way long before my time. All right, so for this bow, let's cut our tails first. I do want to, should we add tails to this? Let's do it. What have we got to lose? So I'll just cut some long tails, and we can dovetail those afterwards. So then pinch, place it into our Bowdabra. I always like to learn a new way to make bows. Thank you for the video. I would love to be the winner. Thank you, Brenda. Love watching you make bows. You guys are just awesome tonight. We're on a roll. Take our ribbon. Place it into our Bowdabra. And I'm just going to twist it completely backwards. Create our second loop. Like I said, I don't measure them. You can if you would like. I don't usually go the extra effort to do that. If it's not exact, no worries. You're not going to notice it all that much. Watch your fingers as you're cutting.
Christine O'Connor said, a year ago we were all in NOLA. Your presentation was awesome. We are from Boston, now in Texas.
Thank you. I know. I'm getting memories popping up from that trip to Louisiana, New Orleans. We had a blast.
We had a blast in there.
And I was freshly 21 years old, and my plan was to go to Vegas for my 21st, and we ended up in New Orleans, which we had one fun time with all of you guys. It was such a blast.
Congratulations to tonight's winner, Nancy Lyons.
Congratulations, Nancy. So, Nancy, send a message to Bowdabra, letting them know that you won, and they will be in contact with you. So, congratulations. You just won a free roll of ribbon. And Bowdabra does that every Monday, and I will be live for the next few Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. So be sure to watch us every Monday on Bowdabra. Cut off our tail there. Now I'm going to take our wires like I did before, bring them to one side, and secure. All right. So now what we're going to do is just take our wire from one side to the other and tie it really tightly behind. I like to give it 3 knots just to make sure it's not going anywhere. Wow, almost 500 people. You guys rock tonight. Thank you. And again, you can find your Bowdabras at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Right now they, do have a very low supply, but hopefully in the near future, a big order of Bowdabras will be coming in as well. Something a little simple. You could put this on. I think that would be kind of cool on, maybe not with 4-inch ribbon, but if it was a slightly smaller ribbon on a wine bottle, you can place this on the top and maybe a few sprigs of greenery or something. But real quick, how are we doing on time? We got 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on a wreath and show you guys what you can do. So here we have our grapevine wreath that I've spray painted red. Now we can take our bow, deciding on where we want to place it. Choice is up to you. And secure it from behind.
That's such a great bow. That would look even good in like a regular square box, huh, Nick?
Yeah, like a present. Yeah.
Yeah, just a regular size square box.
Or a gift bag. Yeah.
The
sky is the limit for decorating.
Tracy Duke says, "Morning, Nick. Just tuned in from Australia."
Thank you, Tracy, for joining us. I would love to be in Australia, and I think it's fascinating that people can be watching from all around the world here in my studio, which happens to, have a dual purpose as my basement. So it's awesome to know that everybody can be watching from, all over. So let us know where you guys are from too. I think that's so cool. Okay.
Missy Rizzo says, "Can you use any spray paint?"
I like to use an indoor-outdoor spray paint just to make sure that it stays. So you have a little bow, and then, I know a lot of people, love to make their own crafts and don't necessarily want to have a lot of wreaths, so you can just customize this. If this is for your own home, of course we do things a little bit different on Nick's Seasonal Decor by actually securing things to our wreaths that we sell to our customers. But if you just want to interchange your picks and decorations from season to season, you can just take a little bit of greenery and place it like that.
We have Texas, New Hampshire, New Jersey in the house.
You can take another pick. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Take another pick, and like I said, you don't have to break them apart if this is for your own home or whatever. But just, real quick, something simple. For the bows that we made tonight, you can customize it. You can curl your tails. The sky's the limit when it comes to designing. And if you love it for your home, that's all that matters. Nobody can tell you right from wrong. Doesn't make a difference. We all have our preferences. So, a quick, budget-friendly, little simple wreath. Is that simple?
It's pretty.
Okay, so let's just recap real quick what we did. We created, I wouldn't even say necessarily a wreath, but we created a wreath bow that you can, customize and place decorative picks in. We created this funky, not that ribbon, this funky bow for summer. Comment down below which one's your favorite. This funky bow, the wreath bow with the 4-inch ribbon. This one I really like. I like that color combo. What else did we create? We created an orange one with the moss green that we're going to dovetail afterwards and have pictures posted. But I wanted as many bow tutorials in this video as possible. So we have that one. I know a lot of people's favorite is this, which again needs to be fluffed. Everything needs to be fluffed.
That's so cute.
Isn't that cute ribbon? This is probably my favorite ribbon, but my favorite bow, personally, is going to be this Halloween bow. Just something about it.
The colors are beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
I love this technique. The 3 loops on either side, 2 loops, and then the button loop. So that's my personal favorite. Ghost one is my fave. Funky bow is really cool. Wreath bow. All right. So this one's my favorite. Comment down below out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bows that we created tonight. So real quick, I want to thank you guys so much for watching tonight's tutorial. I will be live next Monday on Bowdabra at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Pacific. I believe, I could be mistaken, but it is 7 Eastern. This is the Bowdabra wire. I know we get lots of questions on this. Comes as a 100-yard spool. This is my second spool in over a year after making hundreds upon hundreds of bows. So comes with the, you can purchase the wire. And again, Bowdabra is, currently low on Bowdabras, so feel free to purchase at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. So thank you guys so much for your time tonight. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this inspired you to make some bows, and I'll see you on next Monday. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.